Yep. You don't need any experience beforehand. We train everyone from the ground up, and we have both men's and ladies, plenty of teams.
So the concept of open team means that it could be men and women mixed?
Yeah. So canoe polo is a great sport in that the two types of teams are open teams and a ladies team. So men or women can play for the open team, and the ladies league play with a slightly smaller ball and have their own league. So it's really inclusive. I think the past two presidents have both been ladies, and up until this year we've had a really strong ladies team.
That's really cool. Now, the open team for this year, do you have mixed? How many men, how many women do you have?
It's about a 5-2 to men-women ratio. Two of the ladies on the ladies team play for the men's as well.
And now, how often do you practice? Is it a couple times a week?
Unfortunately, we can only afford 1 hour a week, as opposed to Lancaster, who get 4 hours a week. So I think we've put up a good fight today. It's good fun.
So how do you feel after the game today?
A bit tired, but yeah, I'm really happy with how everyone's done. The games have been fairly close. The ladies lost 3-0 and the men's lost 2-0. They were a lot closer than it sounds, and yeah, I'm happy.
All right, that's great. Well, thank you so much. I have here with me Rory, who's the captain of the men's canoe polo team for Lancaster. So how do you feel you guys played today?
I thought it was good. It's always one of those tough matches where, because canoe polo is such a short game of only 2 10-minute halves, we had a lot to do in quite a short space of time. So it's very hard to kind of get a big score against them. The final score there, we won by 2-0. So York really gave us a run for their money. So just like last year, we won again, but by a narrow margin. So no, it was good. I was very pleased with how we played, and credit to York, they did also defend extremely well.
Were you at Roses last year as well then?
Yes, I was. Last year was my first year at Roses, so it was really good.
How would you compare the experience of last year to this year?
Well, this year obviously it's a bit different. Last year it's a lot easier to get into being at Lancaster when it's at Lancaster, because obviously it's part of your own union. I only had to walk down the hill on campus to the pool. The journey here, it makes it almost more of an occasion in some ways, because it's, well, like I said, you have to get here, so it's really trying to stay focused before the match while you come here.
Right. Now, do you have any plans for the rest of Roses?
Well, the canoe polo has been played a week early because we have Bucks canoe polo next weekend, but I'm also on the men's water polo team, so I'm hoping I can finish early enough on the Saturday to go and play in the water polo next week as well.
Okay.
Otherwise, I think I'll just be watching and keeping up score with it on Roses Live. So.
Great. Well, good job today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, that certainly looks like a lot of fun.
It did indeed, and we want to wish the York team good luck as they head off to the Bucks competitions this weekend. Good luck, York!
Yes, a huge good luck. Now, of course, we have so much coming up, and I have the Roses Live website up on my phone. Current score, 19 to York, 18 points to Lancaster.
We've pulled it back. We were trailing behind a little bit earlier on in the week, but it's nice to see us just nudging forward. But there are still 185 points to play for.
So it's so much going on over the weekend. It's barely started. It really has not. If you are on your phones at home and you want to go to the it's roseslive.co.uk, and you can see there's all sorts of messages on here. Apparently Lancaster is struggling in the men's second cricket. There you go, and you can get all updates on all different sports. They keep the scores updated on there, so make sure you take a look on there, and you can also watch the live streams of LA1 and YSTV on there as well.
Yeah, of course you can. We've got so much going on, and it's all for you. It's all for you to watch and enjoy. And if you can, if studying permits, or if you just don't care about the exams and want to get out, the weather is so nice at the moment.
Outside.
Oh my God! And there's a massive buzz on campus. I was walking around. People are out. People are in shorts. I'm not, because I don't have the legs for it. But yeah, we had people eating ice lollies.
And it's the white shirts, the roses are white t-shirts. There's so many of those about. Central Hall's got a bit of a dress on. It's got its nice little signs on the outside. There's bunting. I love bunting. I'm so excited by the bunting on the bridges.
It does. And if you do want to pick up one of the #Roses Are White t-shirts, you can pick them up from the UC building. They are £3. Or if you were lucky enough to get a ticket to Fight Night, I think you get one free.
I think so.
Part of your
ticket.
ticket.
You do. And of course those tickets have actually sold out. They sold out, I think, last week or the week before.
They're gone. Yeah. There is not a single ticket left for that. But never fear.
Don't worry.
Never fear.
Do not worry.
You can still get involved. Of course, you can watch us tonight live on YSTV. We'll be broadcasting it. But if you want to get out and enjoy the sunshine a little bit, on Vanbrugh Paradise, there's a huge event going on. They'll be screening it live on big screens there. And of course, you will be able to be outside for the fireworks on the lake.
It's so exciting.
I saw them setting that up yesterday, I think, putting all the primaries in.
We're going to try and head over after we've done the show from Central Hall, from Fight Night. If you're sitting at home and you're thinking, why do they get to film it? I want to film it. You can send an email to roses@ystv.co.uk. There might even be some crew spots. So if you're a student from the University of York sat at home right now and you want to get out and help us film, there might even be a chance to. If not, you can get involved with YSTV throughout the term. If you're here next year, you can get involved next year. It's fine, don't worry, don't panic, you don't have to do it right away. You can just go to ystv.co.uk for more information.
I think that's one of the best things about Roses, actually, is that it just it encompasses the whole university.
Yes, exactly.
Like I, for example, I hate sport, but I'm still so don't excited.
Don't tell them.
I've tweeted it. It's gone live. It's fine. But I for one, I hate sport, but actually I'm so excited by Roses, and I'm so excited by the coverage. It's just really nice. It's a really nice weekend.
Yeah, and it's really nice to get involved with people from other universities as well. We're actually doing a lot of collaborative work with LA1 TV, which is Lancaster's student television station. So it's all very exciting. It's exciting for us, it's exciting for people playing the sports, and for spectators as well. Now, I think it's time for a little quiz.
Okay.
So, how much do you know about Roses?
A little bit, not a lot.
Very little, I think, was the answer there. So, did you know, just first things first, that Roses is Europe's biggest annual inter-university sports tournament?
Alas, Jess, as a mere fresher, I did not. Forgive me for my sins.
I can tell you more information via this handy quiz now.
Okay.
In a fun way. Don't know what's happened. It's the first day, I'm too excited. So, ready for the first question?
Yep.
How many different sports are a part of Roses?
23.
Bit higher.
33.
This could take some time. It's actually 50.
50?
Yeah, so many sports out there.
So, we have 50 sports. Mm-hmm. I think the Olympics at the moment has 22 or 24.
24?
Does that mean that Roses is bigger than the Olympics?
Yes. We've said it now. It is.
That's it. That's it. According to Matt and Jess, forget what the IOC have to say.
No,
Roses is bigger than the Olympics.
And it's certainly better and more fun as well. And cheaper. You don't have to go for a lottery for tickets and all that kind of thing.
I know.
No. Forget about that. Next question, I think. I think you're avoiding answering these questions. That's what you're doing.
I think so.
How many times has York won the trophy?
Tries not to look at the script. I think York have won. I'm going to go 17 times.
You should have more faith in your university. York have actually won 25 times against Lancaster's 24. And there's only ever been one draw in Roses history.
When was that, Jess?
That's really mean, because you know I don't know the answer. I know it was in the 70s, I can tell you that much. At least I knew that. All right.
How exciting, though, that Lancaster are playing for the equaliser on this one.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty much double or quits for York at the moment. So fingers crossed. No pressure.
No.
All you sports people.
But we're on home turf as well.
We are on home turf.
Apparently for sports people, that's a good thing. So the final question for this little quiz section of the show.
Yep.
When was the first Roses?
19.
If you're good at maths.
72.
You're not good at maths. So it was actually 1965. But here is a question that you can answer. I have all faith in you for this. Where can people go to watch Rose's fixtures live and get more information about what's on?
Funnily enough, Jess, I do know this answer.
How?
If you want to know anything about Roses, you just need to go to roseslive.co.uk and you will be able to find all of the information that you need right there. That's live score, streams, sports fixtures.
So exciting.
Absolutely everything.
So exciting. And of course, you can find information there about where and when certain events are on. Make sure you go out there and cheer on your fellow students.
And if you can't make it away from those books, if, like some of us, you have decided to set your degree aside for the weekend, you can watch many of the fixtures live via webcasts. You just need to go to roseslive.co.uk/live.
Yes, and this afternoon, YSTV and LA1 TV will be joining forces to bring you a live stream of sitting volleyball starting at 2:30, and the opening ceremony, including fight night and the fireworks, will all be broadcast from 6 o'clock.
Yes, and we're not getting any sleep here at YSTV this weekend because tomorrow morning we will be with you first thing at 10:30 a.m. and at 3 p.m. with interviews, highlights and that all-important score update.
It's so exciting. And of course we have live streams of football starting at 10 a.m. We'll be in the pool covering swimming, octopus and water polo, and in the evening we'll be bringing you live coverage of darts as well as highlights from the day. We're presenting darts, we know nothing. It's all exciting.
It's going to be great. And as you are watching all of these matches, if you look at water polo and think, actually, I'd quite like to give that a go, you can just head to usu.org/sport to find out more about all of the amazing college and university level sports that you could be a part of. Just think, you could be travelling to Lancaster next year to represent York at Roses 2016.
That'd be really exciting if you started watching a sport this year and then went on to play Roses next year.
Would.
That's really exciting. Now, speaking of tryout sports, we like doing that here at YSTV.
We do.
We have Activate Sport, where we tried out handball, which is a new sport, and also our very lovely Helen Hoban tried out octopus a few months ago, and we have very lovely footage to share.
We do. Let's take a look.
Here we are at Hes East at the York Sports Village swimming pool, and we're here with Adrian, who's the press and publicity officer for a mysterious society called Octopus. So, first question, the basic one, what actually is Octopus? What do you guys do?
It's a question we get a lot of the time, but basically it's 2 words, underwater hockey. So it's a fairly new society, but the concept's actually been around since like the 50s. It's quite an old sport, but it's getting bigger, and it's basically 2 teams of 4 at the bottom of the swimming pool, and there's a weighted puck, and basically the 2 teams compete to get the puck at the other side of the pool and just play as many matches as they can within, our sessions are an hour, so within the hour's time, so yeah.
Okay, and are the dynamics of a sports team at all changed by being underwater? I mean, how do you guys communicate?
It's really tough. You try with a snorkel because that's how you subconsciously do it, but it ends up just being like underwater. So it has to be kind of subconsciously, like beforehand, you know who's midfield, you know who's front, and you know where each of the players are. And you've just got to be confident that the dynamics work, because obviously in football, you know, you might shout to the other player. There's only so much you can do, but it tends to work once people know the positions and the field of play and that kind of thing.
Okay, and do you need any particular strong skills to start playing? I mean, do you have to be a good swimmer or have any particular expertise underwater?
All I can say is breathing. You just have to learn how to use a snorkel and be able to use flippers, because it's a lot going on at the same time. You know, you've got to forget that sometimes you might just breathe underwater and take a load of water because you completely forget. But once you've got the basics of being able to swim and use all the equipment, it's actually pretty easy. It's just getting the gist of all the different dynamics that are going on at the same time and getting the grasp of all that. So yeah.
Cool. So we're going to have a go, I think, hopefully at a bit of Octopus ourselves. So if you could give a bit of advice to a complete beginner, aka me, what would you say if we had to remember one thing in order to do Octopus well?
Don't breathe underwater. Like I said, just make sure that, it's getting the difference between wanting to play underwater and then just coming up to catch your breath. So as long as you just kind of get that balance right, you should be fine. It should be easy to pick up.
Brilliant. And finally, if people do want to get involved, how can they find out about you guys? Do you have any taster sessions or things to go along to?
We've just had our taster sessions, but they're going on all the time. If you're new to the sport, you get your first 2 sessions free. So you can just turn up whenever, and somebody in the committee will try and train you up and get you to learn the basics. And if you, depending on how quickly you take it up, you can get started straight away and start playing games. So it's really easy to. We have a Twitter as well, that's UOY Octopus, and also we have a Facebook account. It's the same again, University of York Octopus. And if you want to, just to give our president an email or a Facebook message, yes, it's easy to get involved.
Brilliant, thank you very much. It's been wonderful to talk to you, and let's go have a splash, I guess. Well, here we are, getting ready in the middle of the hustle and bustle. Gonna make a splash.
What you're going to do, you're going to go under, you're going to wait till you hear the bubble stop, that means the stop is full. When it starts to come up, big breath, exhale and blow the water out, okay? There we go.
We've finished our training session, we've had an amazing time, and our last little treat is to meet the society mascot. What's your name?
This is Fergie.
Sorry.
I'm talking for him. This is Fergie.
And what does Fergie do? He looks ready to go in the pool himself.
Fergie's always ready to have a swim with us here in Octopus, so he's looking prime ready as always to have a good session.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for teaching me. It's been an amazing time.
Really great having you.
Thank you. If anyone else wants to come along and learn, can you just remind us of what sort of times they can come?
Sure, they're more than welcome to come on Mondays and Tuesdays, 9 till 10, and we also do a Saturday game session on 3 o'clock to come to the Oak Sports Village.
Perfect. Okay, well, definitely give it a try. I've had a go and I'll be back. Cool. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.
Well, that looked like Helen had loads of fun doing that.
So much fun, yeah. And actually, I've heard that water polo is pretty vicious.
Really?
Yeah. I've heard that there's quite a lot of scrapping and scrambling. So well done, Helen.
Well done.
For surviving that. But now we have some lovely people here in the studio to tell us all about sitting volleyball. Do you want to just introduce yourselves really quickly?
Yeah, sure. I'm Itka. I'm the coach of the team.
I'm Marta, and I play just sitting.
Sophie, I'm a player as well.
Fantastic.
So can you tell us just a little bit how sitting volleyball actually works as a sport?
Yeah, sure. So sitting volleyball, basically, if compared to the normal standing volleyball, has got a smaller court and a lower net. So what happens is that the pace of the game is much faster than the standing volleyball.
And you're sitting down, so you've got to scramble around.
Yes. You're sitting down, that means that it's actually a Paralympic sport.
Right.
It's been in the London Olympics Games.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's quite popular actually in Britain, but our club is actually one of few in the north.
Oh,
so there's a really big possibility to
expand
in north.
That's
England.
amazing.
Yeah, that is really, really exciting. So does that mean, so I assume that your club is fairly new then?
Yes. We were founded last year.
Right.
By Elsa Messerlian, as well as Volleyball England coach Steve Matthews. And I was one of the few people who started it as well. And I took over Steve this year with coaching.
Amazing, amazing. And it's great to see that you've gone from having almost like no recognition at all to actually competing at Roses.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
And I suppose you have to have somebody to play up against as well, so Lancaster must have a sitting volleyball team as well.
For us, this is a very big opportunity to show that this disabled sport exists at the university as well as in the actual region, because we're always looking for new players to participate. We don't yet have any disabled person, so definitely anyone who is interested can get in touch with us.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think it's a really good sport as well, because it means that it's one of the few disabled sports where disabled people and able-bodied people can both play it.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. So we'd like to get some disabled people in the team.
Well, I think this is really good exposure for you guys over Roses. To sort of go, look, we exist. This is
some promotion.
It's really exciting, yeah.
You've mentioned a little bit about it before. You've mentioned the fact that sitting volleyball is a Paralympic sport, and you've talked a little bit about the fact that both disabled-bodied people and able-bodied people can play it as well. Do you think that's something that really needs to be recognised?
Absolutely.
Like, just generally, like inclusivity in sport.
Yeah, I think everybody, if it's individual or group of people, should be able to play sport, because that's what we like now. We like to have some excitement, we want to compete. And this, Sophie said, this is one of the sports that actually disabled as well, able people can do it, because the rules is that your your pelvis needs to be all the time when touching the ball on the floor. So then you're minimizing the actual difference between able and disabled person.
Having legs often actually gets in the way.
Yeah. But I think it's also like really important, because I think the basic thing about sport is also that it's fun, and it's really important, especially at university level, that there's something so inclusive and that it's possible for everyone to have fun playing the sport they like.
Yeah.
I think that's really exciting. I think it's exciting to hear that you're sort of promoting that amongst your peers. I think that's really exciting.
Yeah, I think we would like to expand way more than just being at the university in the future. We have good contact at the council that's promoting us as well, and obviously we need to be in touch with more disabled networks, and maybe in future participate in the Volleyball England Grand Prix, which is the competition for sitting volleyball.
Amazing. And so you've talked a little bit about ambitions and stuff. What have you found most rewarding about it so far, about playing and about just being involved from the start?
I think it's mainly kind of feeling that you're doing something for a group of people that is not always recognized as much, even though we don't have yet this group of people in our sport. But obviously that's why probably the Roses are great, to actually showcase the sport itself, bring more people to the club, and help out people to actually enjoy sport. As we're saying, it's not just, I think this sport is not just suitable for healthy or disabled people. It can target any other group of people, like overweight, or anyone who doesn't feel necessarily like going and do sport. So
I feel it's also enjoyable, the fact that it's quite challenging to play as a
for
sport.
Anyone.
For anyone really, because there's that moment which you would really like to lift your bum and then you can't. And it's just really good to do something you're not completely comfortable with.
Absolutely. So for us who actually can play normal standing volleyball, we are on the same level, almost like beginners, which you might see later today, because the movement, it's way more difficult. So when we had a session on Wednesday, this girl came, she's a recreational player, and she had one of the best services out of anyone. So that's the opportunity to actually even include more recreational players.
So how does that work then in terms of organising it within the university? How many times do you practice? Is it one team? Is it mixed team?
Guys?
It's just the one team at the moment. It's a mixed team.
It's a mixed team, yeah.
Just once a week.
Once a week on Wednesdays now, 6 to 7 in the main hall. But we obviously, if we have more people interested, I would look into expand and practice more. Also, I think in the future we could involve kids, because it's we actually had a showcase last year in the opening ceremony for Tour de France in New York, and it was very popular with families and kids.
Amazing. So, if people want to get involved, how can they? How are you reaching out to people?
Yeah, we have actually quite good social networks. So we have a Twitter, we have Facebook page. We are part of the University of York Volleyball Club, so as well we have a website. So I think if they just Google York City Volleyball, they will find many contacts as well on me with my telephone number. So
amazing. And what time is your match?
Our match starts at 3 p.m. today.
Yes, and I think we're live streaming it, is that right?
Yeah.
I think we are.
So have a look and have a good laugh, because sometimes it's very amusing.
It's very amusing.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming in, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, just before we say goodbye, there are so many things that obviously you can get watching. Sitting volleyball is just one of them.
Yep, and if you miss anything, you can, of course, catch up on ystv.co.uk. Yes. Or there are so many other media outlets at this university that will be broadcasting live throughout the weekend. You can go to uri.org.uk, you can check out news, you can check out York Vision. You will never be short of coverage.
It's pretty much roses. This weekend is roses. Nothing else at all. It's all that matters.
It is indeed.
Forget about those.
And we will be with you from 6 o'clock with the opening ceremony, which I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. It's going to be absolutely amazing.
But until then, we will say goodbye. So we'll see you later.
And don't forget, you can keep watching for the coverage of canoe polo right after this.
Bye.
Thank you very much.